once again to episode 47.
Brought to you by Minifigs Espionage. Now with Deathlock and Maki.
We ended up with the camera still wrong. God bless it. What happened? Oh, James joined. James joined literally mid-intro, and now I need to fix all the cameras. Well, while I'm doing that, how about somebody let us know where we're at and how we're there?
All right,
so Whitney just lost the clone, and we're an alpha complex, and things are not looking good for the party because they did not find the radio.
Okay, that was not the last session I was talking about.
So last time, Brianna was trying to use Minor Dream to talk to someone she knew Sierra Savant, but got interference.
Hold on, I gotta bring down the volume of this intro a little bit, because I'm not hearing anything other than intro. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So last time, Brianna used Minor Dream to try to message someone from Sierra Savant, but instead got interference from Thoth, and he tried to take memories from her, but she was able to resist that. She can remember doing some things together, but not specifics. She woke up late morning, had breakfast with the party. Hadhup said that Kandor had something for us. We were taken to a portrait of a door. If we knocked 3 times, it would take us where we want to go. And it was only known specifically to work with Fort Jericho. Hadhup tells us explicitly, do not use it to go to Howron. We decided to go to Fort Jericho to resupply. So we, all go through. Gort was last, and Gort decided that instead he would go to North Point. So we show up in Fort Jericho. We were taken to Commander Carbinger. He asks us to give him a list from Kandor, but we didn't have one. So he takes us to a machine that lists our stats. They gave us armor upgrades and asked us to rest there for a couple of days. Meanwhile, in North Point, Gort was instructed to go to Blacksmith Inc., and they give him upgrades. He rejoins us in Fort Jericho and gets some bracers from the people in Fort Jericho. They also tell Nikolai, the people in Fort Jericho also tell Nikolai that he has a death curse that takes away his int. After resting and upgrading our things, we return to Harveston. Kandor had something for Constog. It was basically the Khatri reincarnation kit. Brianna tried to send a dream to Antaeus, but wasn't asleep. The next day, Constog reincarnated Khatri, and Khatri became a wolf. Gort had gotten a sword from Blacksmith Inc., and he was able to talk to the sword. The sword is a sorcerer named Arius. He has an argument with the sword because the sword asked who the computer was. Kandor returned at that point. We filled him in about the weird language note, and he found out about Gort going to Blacksmith Inc. He was really pissed about that. He pulled Brianna aside and said it would be complicated because Howron is actually controlled by Blacksmith Inc. I did tell him about the trouble with trying to use dreams and Nikolai's death curse. And Kandor gave Nikolai a headband to help, but reduced him to 1 charisma. And then we ate dinner, and we're preparing for a daemon or malicious code attack the next day.
Yep.
Sorry guys, can you guys hear me?
Yes, but it's really echoey and loud.
Sorry.
That's
the best I can do right now. I'm waiting for my computer to reboot.
Okay. Well, so yeah, the plan is to wait out what is potentially inevitable. But instead, there is nothing that seems to come. A day or so passes, There's been kind of this expected time that certain things will happen, and this time around it doesn't seem to appear when you would expect.
Well, this is frustrating. I don't like waiting around. I'd rather it just happen already.
Yeah, theoretically, it gives us more time to prepare. But we don't know enough about what we're preparing for, so.
I mean, usually it's some kind of like monster thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very weird that Kandor would be wrong.
Maybe something has delayed the monster.
Maybe.
I was thinking, where could we be looking at that we're not looking?
Maybe it's in an alternate dimension.
We're already having a hard enough time with this dimension.
Is it possible maybe they forgot? Like, well, I guess I wouldn't know that I forgot anything.
You think they
Never
forgot
mind.
to send a monster?
Yes, maybe.
Whoever's in charge of their planning committee was kind of like, oh, I don't remember I'm supposed to go there today.
They had other important things to do. Waiting at the
I picture
daemon.
like some daemons like waiting around, like waiting for like a bus, like you know, even checking their wristwatches. I thought we were going.
It was supposed to be 7 o'clock.
Yes.
But while you're in the midst of this discussion,
Maybe that's them. Do they knock now? Are they polite?
I didn't think that they could come into the house. I will go and open the door.
yeah, you go to the door. There is a very older-looking gentleman wearing these kind of long, flowy, very dirty, kind of brownish robes, and like some other various bits of cloth. He has a long staff that he kind of holds himself up with, and a number of these potions along his belt.
Hello.
Greetings. Is am I in the right place? I was expecting a much different person.
Who are you expecting?
Who are you?
My name's Brianna.
Are all of you of similar orientation?
Orientation?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm
There
not
are-
sure where that's going.
There are something like 5 of you together, right? Maybe 4, sometimes it's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Are you making a comment about how tall I am?
And your balance. If it's all like you, that's interesting. Normally they're not all in such balance. Anyway, I suppose you know who I'm here for.
I have an idea, but could I tell them who's calling?
I don't know if you're who you're supposed to be, so you either know who I'm here for or you don't.
Would you mind waiting right here for a moment?
Time is not anything.
I will.
Fair enough.
I will go back inside, and is Kandor still here? Like,
Yeah, but he didn't come up for breakfast. For some reason, he decided to hide himself in the blackness of the void, apparently. But you assume he's probably downstairs.
I'm gonna go downstairs and say there's somebody talking in riddles at the door. I will describe him. He's like an older guy. He's got a staff, some potions at his belt. He seems to know something about the party, but
So
I
you
think
would
he
know
might-
he's supposed to be here after the daemons show up, not before.
Huh?
We were just so powerful now, the demons, like, didn't even bother. I just knew it would be the end of them, so.
He's early? Late? Not sure.
Should
Well,
I
if time isn't a
invite him
thing,
in?
then he's the time he's supposed to be here because it's the time he got here.
Yes. I'm assuming that it's okay to invite him in, right? There's no reason that I wouldn't.
That you
be
know
allowed
if he's
to.
not a vampire.
I just didn't know if there were any extenuating circumstances
Also,
that I wasn't familiar with.
You're
mean,
pretty
some
sure the
people like
rules for
vampires.
vampires changed and they don't need invitations to come in anyway now, so.
Gross.
I see no reason why you shouldn't let him in. I mean, the suspense.
Well, I'm
vaguely
just
killing
saying
me.
we're not supposed to tell people that we're here, so I am checking before I just go be like, oh yeah, here's,
No,
everybody.
Yes.
I assume we're discussing whether or not to let him in. You know what I mean?
What if
So,
he's the right one?
well done. I say let him in because the
Because it'll
universe
keep
is
the
a
story
plot.
moving forward.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm always for keeping. The
That's
story.
supposed to be a line Candor says, not you.
They've been here for too long. Yes, let's go let him in.
Okay.
All right, so Candor, you don't know this plot device?
Well, this plot device is supposed to happen after the attack. So now that it's happening, but the attack hasn't happened, it's concerning. What changed?
While
Yeah,
he's
let's
thinking
go.
that, I will go back upstairs and invite the person inside.
Thank you very much.
I'll accompany Brianna.
It's been a long, long trip. A wizard of sorts.
Hi, Erasmus Sweetly. And your name?
I must make sure I'm supposed to be here, and that this is the right place.
I think you're early, but the person you came to see, I think, wants to see you.
I'm here when I'm here.
Yeah, I would think he's on time because he got here when he got here, so he couldn't get here any time other than when he was the time
Precisely.
he got here.
Wherever we are is where we are, and that's where we'll be.
Yes.
Noticing
Now it's just
both of
really
you
a
so far
destination.
the same. Is this a thing?
What?
Oh, there you are.
He asked
Yes.
if this is the thing.
What's
Yes.
the thing?
Oh, no. The balance is most certainly not the same. What is this imbalance? He's looking at Gort.
Oh. Yes, Gort. He is. He was sent here by the computer.
What? No. I think you've got your places wrong.
Nope, hell computer.
Yeah,
The computer is never wrong.
Yep, of course, buddy.
Hell computer.
Very, very well. This must be awkward for all of you then.
You have no idea.
awkward
That
would
was
describe
awkward.
if we understand what's happening.
Yes, I wasn't prepared for a wild boar to appear.
Was it the amulet, the needle, or your magic?
Amulet.
Had to be the amulet, right? We
Are
didn't
you
use
gonna tell us who you are yet? Or?
Oh, yes, but now that I'm certain of things, I am Abram Narenhawk.
Nice to meet you, Abram.
Whether it
We've-
is
we've-
nice or not nice to meet someone has yet to be decided.
We've heard things about you.
There are things to be known about me, but some people don't need to know those things, so they choose not to know them.
I'm gonna need a drink.
Yeah, see, but that's not awkward because I don't understand what just happened. So,
What
I
is
feel
not to be
awkward
understood,
about it.
everything is how it is, and it is how it will be.
you can't
Sure
disagree
will.
with that. It's irrefutable.
Exactly. Though I am aware that there are some issues with what your plans were supposed to be and what they are now. Is this correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes.
You're sure?
Did you want us to expound? I was unaware.
You're sure these are the ones, yes?
Yep. For all you got.
They are substantials.
Mm.
That much is accurate.
I suppose they wouldn't be as easily identifiable as such, and that might allow them to fly under the radar in a number of circumstances. Has that been your experience thus far?
Yeah.
We had auditioned for insubstantials, but we were too sound.
I will say that after the first time that the amulet was used, it was pretty obvious that, from what I understand, that I was a substantial, so...
Ah, right, because you would have had a swap from one to another.
Exactly.
So, which previously dead person were you?
I wasn't dead. Well, I was dead, but Niev, their friend, was alive, and she was transported to Sierra Savant.
Wait, you
where
brought somebody from somewhere else to somewhere. What? Substantials on
Sierra-
multi-forming?
Sierra Savant specifically.
No. This is a problem. Substantials on multi-forming. This shouldn't be plausible. Everything we've spoke of that wasn't a thing. There was only ever one group of substantials. You mentioned seeing a second, but never that they were across each other except for you.
Yes, I didn't know that there would be multiples between you and me. In my notes, I started referring to them as the understudies.
Ouch.
They are unassuming for the most part.
We're activating multiple clones.
In a way, yes. That is what happened.
That means I'm not the prime clone.
You may be the prime clone.
But you're not the prime.
Yes. Very different.
Entirely. Yes, you didn't happen to see anything on your way in, did you?
Was I supposed to?
You should. They were supposed to be here already.
Things will be here when they get here. You keep worrying about the fact that things are not flowing in the order that they're supposed to, but I assure you, everything here flows in the order it's going to flow in. You cannot predict everything.
I suppose that's true. Maybe there's something to your passive neutrality after all.
There's always something in neutrality. Even when there's not.
Yes, but it has been a while.
Now what do we have in this assortment? I heard there was a bard now, right?
I'm a bard, yes.
Previously a pair of druids?
I was, well, the other one is a druid, yes.
I see a wizard, and what of the big one? You're a fighter, right?
Yes.
But I see Arcana, that book. Spells.
Yes.
You fight with both sword and sorcery, yes?
Yes.
And the last one.
Oh, by the way, do you know how to get rid of my death curse? Is that why you came? That would be lovely.
You have a death curse.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, Kandor sort of helped with the headband.
Kandor said he had to think on it. So now there's another person who can help think on it.
I'm not of any sort of religious nature, so I don't know that I could help you out
Me
much.
neither.
It's up to the gods to make those decisions, assuming you believe in them. If not, well, you might be out of luck.
What are gods?
They are algorithms produced by the machine, designed to make things more efficient. Think of them as the computer's helpers. A little different than troubleshooters.
Alright.
That's fair.
I sent a party once there, remember? It was a very complicated endeavor.
Yes. Yes.
So they almost learned too much.
Yes, they almost made things. Well, they did make things a lot more complicated than they needed to as well. I think you're the right one. No, that's maybe.
Also, we don't really know what Gord is. He just tends to fight things physically.
I am Gort, not a thing.
Based on his current behavior, I would assume some form of rager. Rather vicious, I'm assuming, in combat. Yes?
I suppose, despite my, and he looks down on himself, current diminutive.
Stature is not as important in combat as one might think. I tend to find that it is about what you do with the sword, not how big it is.
Like, hit things.
Precisely.
Exactly.
Well,
So really what we have is a problem we're trying to solve.
and what is this problem? Because I didn't know the party had a problem. I thought Kandor and I had a problem we were going to discuss with all of you. But if the party has a problem, we should probably work on that first. It seems as though you're out of balance. I'm assuming that is some part of it.
Well, I assumed that our problem was why you were here to discuss it with Kandor.
What is their problem?
That we don't know what our problem is. We just know things went bad last mission, but we're not sure if it is a problem.
How bad?
We don't really remember how bad.
Yeah, we had to make our brains are washed.
One of the favors is used up then. That was early for them to use up a favor. And they were supposed to meet the scheduled one there. How is your shadow coming along?
Spoke to him once, twice maybe, perhaps. He's coming along.
You still haven't been able to sustain long-term contact.
Not efficiently.
You're component short, aren't you, again?
Am I a component short?
You're a lot of, like, you've been dealing with a component shortage because you're here now. You don't have access to any of the stuff you would normally need.
Yes, a component.
He'll like reach throughout his robes for a moment and eventually procure a bag and hand it over to you. Some of this should be rather useful. Yeah, there's actually no smell that comes from it, as it is in extra-dimensional space. But there are certain things you know he was going to be bringing you that will be pretty important for some of the decisions that need to be made and some of the stuff that will need to be done soon.
I actually have a little bit of a question as far as extra-dimensional space is concerned. If you're reaching for something specific in extra-dimensional space and you go to pull it out, do you pull it out or do you feel it before you pull it out of the bag?
You'll feel it in your hand to know whether or not you have something in your hand.
Okay, so like before I pull it out, I could like think of something and
Yep.
Okay, so I'll check and see if everything is in there without pulling all of it out.
Yeah. You'll be able to kind of go through it and identify that everything that you need is in there. But let me ask you a question. Do you think about the boat? Does it
now
crush
I
you?
do.
You feel the boat, but not the time boat. Not the time boat. The other boat. If you remember the other boat. No, not El Huevo Avion either.
That's what I was thinking of.
No, the
I was
table
like,
boat.
That's a big... Oh. Excellent.
I've managed to get it wired up as we talked about. It took longer than I expected, but I had to get back in, procure a few pieces of the table, and get out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. While I was there, though, I made sure that communication you wanted delivered was delivered. Do we know if she was successful?
I haven't heard anything as of yet, have I?
No.
As far as I know, everything is still going according to plan, but I have not heard anything back yet.
Well, how about all of you? Oh, you don't remember anything.
Remember what?
Right.
That's the spirit.
I mean, if you're talking about communications, I've been trying to communicate with the people I know in Sierra Savant, and I've been having trouble with that, but who knows why. Well, I'm pretty sure Antaeus was just not asleep whenever I tried, but...
Yes, that's
what shadows
strange.
do. They don't sleep.
What?
What shadows do, they don't sleep.
Antaeus is a shadow?
Of sorts. Complicated.
Oh,
It's not important.
Yes, you weren't high enough level to figure that out when you were there. That makes sense.
Wait, she was with them?
Yes.
Yes, I worked with Antaeus at the Ministry of Magic. We were working on a way to rid the forest of blight.
He's calling himself Antaeus.
He was really into Greek mythology for a short period.
I still don't understand what this Greek is. You've tried to explain it a few times. Must be nice to get knowledge from other worlds. I wish I could have the same.
Some of it's good.
We need other world.
You know, other places. There are places beyond these places.
There's this world.
There is this world, yes.
By the computer.
The computer is interested in the other worlds. as well.
Simulation.
Well, right now, yes. Right now, you are in a simulation of sorts, but
What other world?
there are other worlds outside of the simulation. The computer will
Yes.
one day unlock those to you.
Yes, they're like some sort of downloadable content that the computer will have.
He goes to go look through the book he's holding. Pulls out a pen.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to go write something into it. And he asks the computer, is it possible that there are other worlds?
You'll get back. There are most certainly other worlds, but we cannot get to them yet. But we intend to one day.
No computer.
No, computer.
Is this the first I've seen of this?
Yes.
Specifically? Excuse me, what?
He's
He's
talking
just
to me.
writing notes in a book. What are you getting obsessive about there, Kandor?
Were you writing notes too?
The computer.
And the computer's responding.
Yes, the computer knows all.
What color is he wearing?
What color is Gort wearing now?
Is he
I'm
red
still
still?
wearing his normal colors.
Okay. So he has not changed any colors yet, that you know of.
Oh, okay. So,
But we did hear, well, he did say last time that he had ranked up and that he was blue now.
Yes, but Kandor was not present for that.
Oh,
So-
I thought he
I-
was.
I
thought
did not
that
think
was
so.
when-
But I could be
are
wrong.
you still red? It's just, you're red, Gort? Yes? No? Maybe so?
No, I am Gort TYBLU.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, it's just
Keep
odd.
quiet, sorry.
It's just odd that the computer would be speaking to... Wait, you're blue?
Gort. I am Gort.
He did say BLU.
He was formerly yellow, but when we got upgraded, he became blue.
I guess that excuse won't work, so, never mind then. Anyways, you have direct communication with the computer.
Yes, this is my interface. The simulation has produced the interface in such a way that I don't have my normal one.
Yes, of course. Does this strike me as problematic?
I would imagine it probably should, because that you know of, no one else has the book writing spell.
Oh, yes.
You've tried to make sure that's pretty well kept, and anyone that got a copy of the book, there's protective measures to stop people from reverse engineering the spell itself.
Would it be possible for that to be technology then? Or...
That book does not look technological.
No,
and he hasn't come into contact with any form of technology that you're aware of.
I assume others have, and he points to
Brianna.
Brianna, and our mages, and they also have they have interface devices.
I'll hold up the book that Kandor gave me for us to write messages back and forth.
Oh, you have that? Yes. That's the only device you guys have, correct?
No, I believe the Scort has said that he has his own now.
How?
Have you been sharing the spell with people?
Was that directed at me? Because no, I have not. Aside from them with the book, but that book, not the other book. But
And they say they're the computer, Gort.
Of course. What else would I be interfacing with? We're inside of a simulation. I must be speaking to the computer.
we're just making sure there's no look for term, hackers trying to hack the computer.
We have heard there is a potential breach. Would you mind if I do a quick bit of scanning on your communications device to check?
Sure, why not?
He'll extend out his arm.
I'll hold up the book.
Do you have it open or closed?
I closed it
Okay.
after I was done. I closed it, so I'm handing it to you.
Okay, he'll take it and he'll open it. There's only... Hold on. He will take out a small vial of something and take a sip from it. And Kandor, you will hear in your head moments later. There's only one-sided communications in this book. He writes a message, and then he writes another message that looks like a reply to somebody else's message, but there's no other message.
There's a lot of tomfoolery going on.
Oh my god. For checking his calligraphy, of course, to see if it's the same handwriting.
It is definitely his handwriting, but there's no So imagine you're looking at a messenger conversation. So there's a message. There's a line with a message on it, and then there's a blank space, and then beneath that there's another line with a message on it that he's written. Then there's a blank space and another line with a message on it that he's written.
As if he's responding to something that isn't there.
Yes. Did you check his sanity? You're getting this mentally.
Not recently.
Has he succumbed to any sort of attacks from mind-affecting creatures or similar?
I will give him the information I know about what he's come in contact with.
That doesn't line up.
I am aware of it. Oh yeah, I do know about his blacksmithing thing. He I don't know if it'd be related, but he was also recently a blacksmithing.
What did he have done there?
I actually don't know, do I?
Mm-mm.
That's a good question.
Should
Abram
it be obvious if you look at him? If you look at where it should be obvious that one, he's got the glass monocle, right?
It's not entirely obvious unless you kind of focus on it.
Oh, okay.
Because it embedded itself into your eye, physically into your eye.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
But he'll hand the book back. Abram will hand the book back to you. You see responses to the messages you sent, correct?
Of course.
They
They're always responsive.
They must be encrypted then. Are you aware of what your encryption cipher is?
I don't have an encryption cipher.
What are you? Well, then, what system are you using for decoding the encryption?
He holds up the pen.
No, that is how you're encrypting your communications. But how are you decrypting the communications?
It appears on the page. And he takes it, opens it, and shows you where he spoke, and he points to his signature, to what he wrote, and then he points to where he sees the response.
Wait a minute. I didn't notice this at first. I thought maybe it was a fluke, but only one of your eyes has magic on it.
I don't have magic on my eyes. I don't use magic.
I'm sorry. You're right. Can I ask you a question? Can you close your? He asked you to close the eye where the magic is, and then tell me if you still see the text.
What was it?
You see that half the text disappears.
What did you do to the book?
Now close your other eye.
My interface device.
Close your other eye and open the other one.
It's for me. He's gonna sit there with both eyes closed. Like, what is it? Oh, then he opens his eyes and goes.
If you do it the other way, you'll see the text appear.
He blinks his eyes back and forth. He's like, what did you do to my interface device?
Your decryption device is in one of your eyes.
There's nothing in my eyes.
There is, actually. You can't see it or feel it, but it's there. I can identify it because I have special technological, optological enhancers.
Optological enhancers.
He opens the book and quickly writes down what is opto and tries to spell it, but obviously cannot.
You'll get a message back that says, I've never heard of such a thing.
The computer says you're wrong.
Well, the computer says a lot of things now, doesn't it?
You know, computer.
Hail, computer.
What did you do to my interface device?
You have decryption technology in one of your eyes. That is how you're able to read your PDC.
Is this because of the simulation?
I assume so. There must have been a programming flaw in your other eye. Maybe something about the simulation is only rendering one out correctly.
And he literally starts poking his eyes.
Yeah, one of them
trying to feel something.
One of them feels kind of glassy. The other one, you just like poke yourself in the eye and it hurts.
This is the broken one.
Hopefully it's not now. Well, this is an anomaly that we didn't plan for.
This is very true.
Well, with the next step is this could create major complications. Is the team there still stationed? Do you know if they still live?
Which team?
The team in Halron.
I will let him know if there have been any changes, to my knowledge.
You don't have a lot of knowledge. Halron's pretty heavily locked down. You know that you were planning to have some substantials that were supposed to be developing there, but you don't know if that has gone successfully or not.
I haven't heard back in quite some time, so I'm not sure.
So these are the 5 that we have. You don't know about anything where they're going. You don't know about the other that is supposed to be arriving. Have you at least know that their Feliana is still roaming about in the south, right?
She is?
How out of touch are you? You did go to the big communion, right?
Yes.
And you should have noticed that she wasn't there.
I'm assuming that this is accurate, right?
Yeah, so when you met with the gods, that's the big communion. That was you meeting
Yeah.
with all of the gods, and she was not there.
Yes, that is correct.
But then you haven't been able to track her otherwise? I was able to locate her pretty quickly.
I haven't tracked her, no. Not in quite some time. Touch.
Are you doing okay? I know this was this shook you quite a bit. The school wasn't supposed to fall. It was, but it
Yes.
wasn't in the way that it fell.
Exactly. There've been a lot of changes that I wasn't prepared for. And this one is not making it any easier.
Beginning to think your theory may be right. Maybe the anomaly is trying to return. You were able to make it back.
This is true. I wish, in this instance, for once, I was wrong about this.
I was hoping you were. Oh well. Suppose I don't get any money for that bag I brought you. You win the bet.
Well, I guess it would just be... Yes, anyways. Can you imagine that? No, I guess it's not.
So,
Yes.
has he briefed you on where you're going?
Who are you talking to?
All of you. Has Candor briefed all of you on where you're going?
Well, we
No.
know
Supposed to
that.
fight monsters first.
Well,
Yeah, we've been
Last-
hanging around here waiting for the monsters to show up.
yes.
Hmm.
We're typically there are some daemons that show up every time we recover a piece. So we were waiting on them, but then after that, the only piece left is in Halron.
Are you aware of what Halron is like?
We've heard that it's very dangerous, but we've not really. I don't know that we fully know all of the danger. I know that it's supposed to be very, heavily guarded.
Yes, imagine that you are trying to break into a prison, but a prison filled with people who have become acclimated to the system. There are some people that are attempting to rebel against the system, but it is run by the most powerful magical organization that we've ever faced. I miss the days when it was just Father Dearest.
Good old Father Dearest.
Yes, that's just surprising that he would say that. If he's running keys, he has to be.
Are you
Yes.
all willing to die?
I'd prefer not to, but I feel like that it's important what we're doing, and it would be a worthy thing to give our lives for.
We should all have extra clones. We should all be willing to die for the computer.
You are out of clones. You are on your last clones. What we're about to do with this undertaking will not be an endeavor that you will be able to recover from. Not under normal means.
Who?
The city of Halron, once you enter it, will keep you there. There will not be a way for your body to escape. Bringing out pieces of yourself may not be successful, as your soul may be trapped in the system. The only way to get back is to succeed.
Then we will need to succeed.
Good. Let's
Or at very least, not fail.
Yes, I would say that's
Yes.
actually more appropriate. Some of you may survive if you don't fail.
Yes, that is true.
Do you know, has he explained what is at stake yet?
I don't know if we fully know what is at stake. I know that because of the way things are happening, that evil has been allowed to come to this place, but I don't know if we know the full stakes.
Do we start elaborating?
Oh, yes, sure, yes. Sorry, I was trying to figure out why the anomalies, why.
There is a delicate balance that goes into the world as it stands now. The balance is being threatened in a number of different ways, and this new edition of the daemon problem is unexpected. The demons, the devils, we've been knowing about them for a while. We've been dealing with those problems as they come. The daemons seem to have different interests than the demons do, but they're not the only thing that has an interest. A potentially greater anomaly exists, one that is, to use a term that Gort will understand well enough, a glitch in the system. It has the ability to potentially rewrite how the whole system works. Some of you may have noticed that your abilities might act one way one week, and the next they seem different or change slightly. Things that you thought you once knew about yourself are not entirely the same. These incongruities are being caused by this anomaly. A very powerful creature that once lived within the world and found a way to live within the fabric of the world. The objects that you are acquiring will help seal the fabric of this world. However, they require the fabric to be written properly once again. As it stands now, the fabric is decomposing. If given its current trajectory, this world will cease to exist in a matter of time. In its current state, anyway.
So it's up to us to determine whether it is rewritten for the better or for the worse.
It is up to you to gather the pieces necessary and to make certain determinations about these things. Part of the things that I have given Candor will allow you better ability to steer the trajectory of things with better understanding of the way the world works, but not without some substantial risk.
Is that a play on words or just literally risking substantials?
I did not realize I'd done that, but yes, it could be. If I'd have been a little wiser to it.
Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. In for a copper, in for a pound.
What is the timeline on this thing in Howron? How soon are we supposed to go there?
It needs to be done very quickly. If you're waiting for something to arrive here, I assume should be here. Daemons aren't normally off of a schedule.
Supposed to be here before you should.
Yes, but if they're also here off schedule because they chose a path that wasn't supposed to be taken, then that would throw off the order of things.
Good point.
In fact, then in many ways, I'm more early than expected.
There you go.
Are you properly equipped?
We were given some upgrades in Fort Jericho and North Point. I'll kind of look over at Gord.
what do you need?
Are you properly equipped?
You tell us.
It's up to you to identify whether you feel properly equipped.
You have a better sense of what we may be facing.
I
Right.
feel properly equipped.
I just got a hold of guys. Sorry. I got a serious computer problem.
It's okay.
So he's going to go ahead and say yes.
Okay.
I'm just going to assume I'm good.
It's important to know how you feel before I make any decisions about whether or not you are.
Wait, are they supposed to have been to North Point already?
They visited Fort Jericho, was where they would have visited to get
Yes,
supplies.
except for Gort. He went to North Point because
Yes.
the computer told him to go to North Point.
Was this before or after the... what did you call the thing inside? Before he got the thing in his eye, the...
Monocle?
Yes. Does it look like an egg? Does there actually look like there's a monocle there?
If you look
now?
really closely, you can see that there's a glassy overtone that's kind of flattened, unlike a regular eye.
Did
Yes,
you get your monocle in, or did you get your upgrade in North Point to your eye? I mean, Gort.
You don't know where the eye thing came from.
I've had the monocle. I've been this way since I've appeared here.
So then, no, he did not.
He would have had it before he went there.
Kandor? That means they know. You're all going into a trap.
Well, that's not good.
What do we do about that? What can we do about that?
You can know that it's a trap. And you can raise your expectations and lower them. Find the correct expectations.
No wonder you two get along. You're just like speaking vague notions.
There was no vagueness there. I was very clear.
Make the correct expectations. Right. Yes, that gives me very clear direction.
I mean, I took it as lower our expectations of making it out of there alive. And
But
raise
Yeah,
we
I
also
just-
said raise your expectations.
Yes, raise your expectations that you will be taken advantage of. Suppose not the best words, but it's been a while since I've talked to people.
Be on top.
You said that there was magic radiating from it. Yes?
Oh, they all have some.
Well, what is the likelihood of it being active?
Well, I'm not picking up any sort of perpetual viewing, so I assume it must have to be pulled. It would have pinged immediately had it been perpetually, and I believe they would work around that sort of technology. They would prefer to work in something that isn't as easily discernible.
I wonder.
So as long as he doesn't go back, they won't know of this. But this means they already know what your plan is.
Oh, so it doesn't transfer automatically.
He raises his hand and points to a ring that isn't lit, and he says no.
And that's not because of the safeguards in place here.
Well, it would have gone off in the area.
Oh, yes.
They would start monitoring a specific area, but I don't believe that's happening.
Now, for semantic purposes, you wouldn't classify that as a memory, would you?
It would be the device's memory.
Because I've never done that on a device before. But would it be possible? Maybe?
It is something you could attempt.
I mean, I don't think there's anything in there specific. Let me go over the wording again. I kind of like think to myself about modified memory and how it specifically works. See if I doubt I could do it on that, but it's not a living creature. That's
Well, Kandor thinks about these things. Let's discuss some of your specific skills. Let's start with the wizard. What do you
Yes?
find to be your strongest skill?
My dedication to good journaling.
He glances over to Kandor and like blinks for a moment and then turns back. I thought you said he was more like the gnome.
He is. He is? He is. He is very much like
What is your favorite spell?
My
Do
favorite
you still have-
spell, magic missile.
Do you guys still have the character sheets, or did you leave them here? Probably left them here. I'll start looking for them to see if they're here. I wouldn't have one for Gort, but I'll kind of like rummage around to see if I can find out where I left it.
Yeah, you can eventually find copies that you kept.
I'm very focused and disciplined.
And your favorite
Yeah.
spell is magic missile.
You also like to use that sonic thing too.
Yes, I also like to use my sonic abilities.
Like soundburst?
I have
Or
you know,
shatter,
some
rather?
exploits I can do.
He also likes to eat scrolls.
I can
Excuse me?
consume scrolls. Use it to power things.
With what do you put on them? A little mustard, maybe some ketchup?
No, you gotta respect it by eating it raw. You know what I mean? Ruins nutriments.
How? When did you start eating scrolls?
Why is it, Kandor, that every time substantials come into contact with you, there's some oddity that has to occur beyond the normal scope, and it seems to grow every instance you interact with them?
Sanity damage?
Do you just cause
I,
it to them?
Been eating scrolls for a little bit.
I wouldn't be surprised. A little bit. How long? When did you start learning that you could eat scrolls? I don't
Probably
even know how to...
within the last month or so.
You guys had any... You guys take next time?
Well, so magic missile. How about you, Druid? You are whom?
Unstuck.
And what's your deal? What do you do? I'm assuming some measure of healing. Your animal probably does the bulk of the work, right?
Yeah.
Now that he's alive again, yes.
Yeah.
And you probably stand on the sidelines. Do you morph into one and fight alongside it, or?
I figured out that I can turn into an eagle and I can heal from above. And that sort of gives me more range.
Very useful. You can heal the party well. Other things might not have as easy access to you.
Indeed.
All right. And as for the bard, I assume you play a lot of music. I guess you don't take a lot of notes, since that seems to be your wizard's role in the group.
Well, I mean, I take notes, but I usually take notes so that I can make lyrics to my songs. I love to sing.
Now, I've heard there's been a ongoing issue, though, with you from what Kandor and I have discussed. You have you're training to be some kind of frontline fighter. Is that correct? You said multiple times you've been engaged in melee combat with a number of creatures.
I do not typically want to be a frontline fighter, but if I have to heal, I have to get into the front line, unfortunately, to do that.
You said something about drawing a longsword, though, once against a creature.
Oh, that was probably because I I was out of magic for the day or something.
So you're not some kind of weird fighter bardy thing?
No.
Okay. Kendor, your notes are getting bad.
After the shambling mound killed me, I really didn't want to be on the front lines if I could help it, honestly.
Good. So you focus on buffing the party and maybe a bit of healing. What other utility spells do you have at your disposal?
Well, I like to, if I can, do things to mess up the other team, like put grease under their feet, cover them in glitter so that it blinds them, that sort of thing.
Very good. And you, big one, your name?
Not big one for sure.
I mean, you're rather big. You're one of the few creatures who's actually taller than I am.
Nikolai.
And since you have a spell book, I presume you must have a favorite spell. What would you consider yours to be?
Hard to choose. I mean, I do enjoy spell combat, so, you know, sometimes cold, sometimes electricity. It varies.
Depending upon the opponent.
Yes. I also do appreciate having displacement to, you know, give myself some protection.
Good, you are up to displacement. And I'm assuming you have a set of images on you as well while you're getting into the combats.
Yes, I have those as well.
Excellent.
We've also been working with dispelling magic.
Useful, very useful, especially where you're going. And you, Gort, what have you been assigned for your weaponry?
He draws out the what he assumes is his beam saber. He goes, "What do you think I do?"
Ah, yes, you cut things with great precision, it looks like. Oh, I haven't seen a weapon like that in a long time.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. According to my sheet, he's wearing a blue jumpsuit and reflector. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Do you have other skills? Particularly good at breaking anything, or maybe yelling at things? Or just the bashing?
Is there anything more than breaking things?
Fair. So precision breaking. Well, I think as unintimidating as they might be altogether, it sounds like they're at least well put together in terms of composition. How have you all been faring? I assume it's been rocky, but still effective?
The last one was not so good.
But other
before
than that, we
it's
generally, I think, do pretty totem.
been manageable.
Good.
We've only each died, you know, multiple times.
I haven't died at all.
It was hyperbole, dear.
Don't say that, Erasmus. Whenever you start bragging about you haven't died at all, that's when you die.
Now, I did happen to bring along one extra thing that specifically Kandor had asked about. I made a recent expedition, a bit out of the way, but I had to pick up some things and relink some things, and I happened to be able to get to a specific place. If you have a druid with you, then I assume you have access to certain things, and so he reaches into a vial and pulls it out, and the vial has a couple of pieces of hair and skin in it. And he will extend it to Kanstag, and he will say, "There is something in there, but I hear that right now it's still alive, so you can't quite bring it back yet. But I'm sure it would appreciate being brought back in its proper form. I suppose then it may not be of much use right now, but if your bulky companion happens to take a dive and you need to bring someone back, use that. You should get back someone who is closely tied to your companion.
Right?
If any of you happens to gain access to clone as you get further up, though, you may want to just regrow that. We're going for a ride with James.
Clone.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to move from one space to another because they're about to get real loud over here.
No problem. Do you all have any questions about what is to come?
Well, the one question I did have is sort of tangentially related to it. So we had gotten some upgrades in Fort Jericho, but I believe that we were going to try and do some shopping. I'm guessing at North Point, but I'm not sure. Are we still able to do that, or is this going to have to happen before we would have time to go shopping?
If you're going to go to North Point, you better keep a very short leash on Gort. It's important right now for the purposes of making sure everything goes correctly that Gort not...
I am not a beast of burden.
Fair, but it's important that you not...
There you go.
That you not share your data with potentially problematic sources.
Are you asking me not to interface with the computer?
I'm asking you not to believe that what you are interfacing with is the computer. I believe that you are infected. Or at the very least that your comm unit is infected. And it may be giving back to you faulty information.
Huh.
He just grunts at you.
If this is true, you could make your mission worse.
I will not fail the computer.
Hopefully not. But otherwise, you all should be able to make a trip to North Point, acquire the goods you need. Since I've clearly made it here before whatever is going to arrive, then it is very likely that all of you can probably make the trip now. I'll be able to be here and make sure that no harm comes to Kandor.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
It'll be a good opportunity to reminisce.
Yes, of course. Sorry, I was lost in thought.
Why do you look so nervous, Kandor?
Well, I kind of look at everybody else to see if anybody else is hearing that voice.
Hearing what voice?
Good. Never heard that voice before. I'm just gonna pass on by this and move on to the next thing.
Are you okay?
The thing is magic, yes, not technology.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if you're all going to North Point, then I will wish you all good luck. I will stick here with Kandor.
Thank you.
And in the meantime, why don't we take a short break?
Oh, thank goodness.
We'll be back.
Doing the dance.
be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance.
The party has plans to make their way to North Point to work out some gear.
Do we?
That's what you guys talked about.
It is what we talked about.
And if none of you have any more questions for Abram.
My questions for Candor and Abram are, what gear am I supposed to get?
Well, what do you have already?
Mithril breastplate.
Does it have any magic on it?
No.
So you're fairly easy to hit then, aside from your magical protections.
Yes. An amulet of natural armor, a ring of protection, and a headband. And then I have a mithril scimitar.
Do you have anything to make you stronger?
I have a belt of giant strength.
Just at the first level.
I assume so.
Oh yeah, +2 would be.
+2.
That would be that would be first level.
Yes.
Well. And what of the rest of you? Do any of the rest of you need additional assistance with your objects?
Wait, were you going to tell me something?
I'm waiting to hear about the rest of them as well, if anybody else needed assistance, and then I could offer you suggestions based on that.
I have my shopping list ready, but thank you.
Do you know of anything that would help make a wolf stronger?
What do you have on the wolf now?
I've got a wrap that has outsider bane. And then I'm getting the barding resized. But that's about it.
These are both solid investments. Any sort of amulet on it?
Oh, it's got a natural armor amulet.
Much harder on those creatures to find good slots. The barding should help quite a bit. They have wraps you can put around each of the legs that act similar to rings. You may want to ask about something like that. Perhaps give additional ability to be harder to hit. Maybe get a silver one if you. Druids have access to that shield other spell that I've heard about. I don't think they do. No. Well, at the very least, getting a protection ring would be good for your animal. As for you, Nikolai, your weapon, what kind of magic does it have on it?
It is a mithril scimitar.
Any sort of bonus?
No.
You have a magic bonus
it
of
has
one.
Yeah, it has one magic bonus.
Well, a common thing for your types is to put spell storing on those things. You could be a rather by-the-book kind. It's a magical enchantment that you could add to the weapon. That will allow you to keep one extra spell in there that you could release upon hit. Though I'm not sure, what are all your funds looking like?
I have 3,000 gold pieces.
Okay.
Platinum is times 10 for
Times
gold.
10, yep.
So I have a bit over 5,000 gold.
Yeah, I'm about there, yeah.
Then you might be short of getting spell storing placed upon it. you'd need something more along the lines of, checking my math here. You'd need a little closer to 6 in order to get the spell storing added. Maybe if somebody would pony up, that could be of value to you as well.
What are we doing?
Potentially spell storing for Nikolai, or that's just a suggestion, or some other additional bonus enhancement bonus thing.
I'll throw in $1,000 for that.
Are we supposed to be getting 10,000 gold or something? I
thought it was 100,000.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna go there and buy a bunch of garbage scrolls for eating.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because what I've written down on my shopping list is more than what my character has, so that's why I'm like, wait a second.
An all-expense paid shopping trip to North Point.
Kendor, why do they have so little funds if they haven't acquired anything?
For me to facilitate, I thought they were getting that when they did their little jobs and their things.
What's little
We
jobs?
haven't hit the big time score yet.
Do I have funds that I have set
You
aside?
don't have any
for them?
money set aside at the moment?
Oh yeah, if I did, I would have had spell components. So.
Yep.
Andor's broke.
It's all right.
Is anything about any of this gone to plan so far?
We're not dead.
Oh, maybe the first half of all the plan, maybe.
Well,
I don't know. I figure out where it all went wrong.
well, problems must be solved.
Gord opens his book and writes in the book, they say we need additional funds. Can you help?
You'll get a reply back of no. You've been compensated already.
Understood.
Thank you for your interest, but we will be declining declination to provide you with superior monetary ally.
Well, I have some assistance I can offer. Hopefully I'll make it back on whatever is arriving here. I can't have this going wrong anyway. If Kandor is right, this is a big loss to me. And he will once again rummage around for a moment and pull out a small bag that he puts on top of a table. Don't spend it all in one place.
Ooh.
One place is North Point.
That should cover all of you to get you to enough equipment that should help.
Understood, thank you.
How much is it?
There are about 50,000 gold worth of gems inside.
Wow.
Almost all sapphires. Now, it's going to be very important that you don't fail. Not because of the money. The money is whatever. There's more where that came from if I really needed it, but I'd have to make quite a journey.
Mine. Where you got the sapphires?
It is from a mine, yes.
Yes, and that would be quite a journey.
What is it, Kendor?
Those sapphires, they look familiar.
They should.
So that's where that was.
There was a good opportunity. No one was around. They had taken care of the issue. You might as well pick up what you can.
Fair enough.
I'm surprised that one of them didn't pick up more of them.
So this would be, if we were putting this down on some kind of character sheet, like 100 sapphires each.
No, this is raw gems. So.
Okay.
But yeah, it's take them however you put it on there however you want to, as long as the money still ends up the same way.
Okay.
So what is it?
It's 50,000 GP in sapphires. Well, and some other miscellaneous gems. But not per person, 50,000 total.
Right.
Yeah, that's
But
what
if we split it evenly, then that's 10.
I mean, assuming you want to give Gort money.
True.
Since Gort doesn't really use gold. But that's up to you guys, because not having a well-equipped member of the party could also be devastating.
True.
No, I mean, I would equip him.
Did that sack have all the spell components I needed in it, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Including spell components for a spell I haven't told you about yet.
Oh.
It is a 9th level spell that we are going to unveil very soon.
After the,
No.
Oh, before then, got it. To prevent it. Okay.
There is one last thing that we can do for you that Kandor specifically asked that I offer. And one thing that we're going to need in the end, but we need to make sure it tests out okay. Are one of you willing to be a guinea pig for this?
Yes.
I'll do it, or I guess Erasmus can do it.
I think Erasmus might be a good option.
All
I'll leave it
right.
up to you, Kandor. Which of the two of them do you think might this spell be more useful in?
Erasmus seemed pretty psyched about it.
Good.
I'm pretty gung-ho about random spell stuff.
So I don't want to give you the details of the spell quite yet, because I want it to happen in real time. I wish I would have remembered to send you these before, but considering when you messaged me at 6:20, I just remembered that I had not sent you a message about being here. Or no, 5:30 rather, sorry.
Those alarms that I had to set like 2 weeks ago, otherwise I was going to forget what day it was. Not like what day the game was, what day today was.
But this is a touch spell that has a 5-minute casting time. There's a lot of preparations that are made. And you need the subject to think of, to sort of be at a clear mind. And then they are going to be able to talk differently to the rest of the group for a period of 1 minute.
Clear mind, Erasmus. Did we pick the right one?
I don't even understand what you just described.
You're not there yet, but I'm going to need your full attention for 1 minute, because you have literally 1 minute when I say this spell is cast, and I'm getting a timer ready.
Okay.
Do I, as a character, know what he is doing, or have some inclination?
You are the one that's going to be casting the spell, so you know.
So yes, hopefully.
I will explain this now as we go into it. This spell allows 1 minute of time as a player to talk to the party. It is very dangerous, could result in sanity damage based on what is said, but there may be useful information the player might be able to give the party.
So it is 1 minute where the player can talk to the party.
The player, not the character,
Yeah,
the
I got
player. Are you ready?
Give him a little time to prep, jeez.
He could talk to the party. Yep, I understand the benefit.
Charles can
got
talk
it.
to the
Yes.
party.
Does Charles get 5 minutes to pull his thoughts together, though?
He does have. I will give him 5 minutes to pull his thoughts together, because the Spell takes 5 minutes. So, Charles, you tell me when you're ready, or I will tell you when the 5 minutes are up. Of anything, think about anything that you might want to tell the party. As Charles.
Oh, good God.
Charles is in charge. You got this.
Okay, so I have 1 minute to ask anything of the PCs as
To tell
a
them
player.
anything.
To tell them anything, you can hear them reply. They are their player characters, while you are Charles.
Okay.
And that includes, it doesn't only, like, it's not only for asking questions, right?
No, it can go both ways. It is a full free flow of information for 1 minute.
Okay, because that was what I was confused about it at first too, and then I was like, oh, that's why it's extremely good.
Yes, and it is
Especially with
very,
Charles,
very
no
expensive.
offense. No offense, James. But
He's got some years on you.
I fully own my lack of experience, so.
Can you own mine too?
I mean, I'm ready, so.
All right, let me stop the timer and set it. And on 5, 4. Go.
Okay. All right. This is for Gort. What is your class?
What do you mean, what is my class?
Yeah, what do you do?
Gort. I'm a troubleshooter.
Do
How
I
come
give
you
him a
didn't
hand?
cooperate? What?
He is a barbarian.
Barbarian.
Yes.
Do I hear that voice?
You're running out of time, though. You do hear that voice.
Okay, he's a barbarian.
21
Okay.
seconds. Do you
You
want
give
more
Jesus.
time? I'll make you a deal for more time. I have
Oh,
control
yeah?
in this moment.
Okay.
Do you want more time?
you can also give information.
I'll give
that?
you more time. Keep going.
You can give information as well.
Okay, so now I'm on the spot and I don't know what to give. Okay,
Why don't you tell them who I am?
oh, you mean Teddy Ruxpin?
Yes.
Yes.
What is my other name? Did you know, or do you only
No,
know
I
the
never
one?
did.
Can we all hear this creepy voice?
No. He just suddenly
I'm hearing
starts
it.
talking to something else, though.
I'm talking to another voice that has a bad Dracula accent. That the other me's knew.
What's Dracula?
Vampire-y.
Okay. What's a vampire?
It takes life essence from other creatures to sustain itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, we need to, okay, so, we're going to Northport, we're buying equipment, right? We have all this dough. Okay. I don't really need anything, so what are we hoping to accomplish going to Northport? What are we looking for exactly?
Brianna needs things.
You know?
A part of the party.
You
Contender
are
join the
you
party.
are Erasmus again.
Okay, shit.
It's a lot of pressure, Erasmus.
I know.
Wait, so
don't
what
know
was
happened.
Erasmus
It's very
doing?
weird.
Doing during this?
He was basically speaking as Charles. You would have heard the voice of Charles instead of the voice of Erasmus.
But obviously we didn't know who Charles was, so that probably would have been very confusing.
Yes.
What did I miss?
Well, I know that it worked because of one thing he said.
What's a Teddy Ruxpin?
I don't know.
A bear. You put cassettes in it.
What's a cassette?
What? That's not what I knew Teddy Ruxpin to be. Who are you talking about?
Did
This-
somebody say Teddy Ruxpin?
When he was channeling or whatever that voice was that came from Erasmus, he mentioned talking to a Teddy Ruxpin.
Didn't he normally go by Theodore?
Yes. Is this information that we need being spread?
I mean, I'm feeling compelled to talk about it.
Aren't we your family now or
100% Gimbal
something?
insisted on calling him Teddy. I know that for a fact.
Well, he insisted everybody refer to him as Teddy, but when you called him by name, it was his full name.
Yeah.
Just didn't know.
Theodore Ruxpin just sounds ridiculous.
Just didn't know if that information being permeated is beneficial.
I want the information being permeated.
That's the point, voice in my head.
Do I hear that voice or no?
You do not hear that voice. You are not Charles.
Things of a forgotten time that should remain as such. Unless that's part of the point. The real question is, how much information do I give to them about this? Because if I give them information about this, it might help them in their adventures, but then if I give them too much information, then...
It depends, Kandor. How much do you think he has control of things already? That seemed to be longer than a minute.
It was a variant.
Thank you.
Somebody called it.
It did.
Do you think he's able to change game rules? As you would put it?
I want to say no, but I also don't believe that answer.
God, you don't realize how fast
Wait.
the moment is until you have to come up with questions.
Theodore?
Oh, yeah.
Theodore
Yeah.
is the anomaly that you were talking about?
Is that the specific one that they were talking about, or was it the other one?
There are a number of anomalies, but the big one...
That's okay. I just wanted to make sure we weren't talking about something else.
What do you think we're talking about? Do you know of another anomaly?
Do you not?
What is it?
Who is Anomaly?
Suppose we just talk about it?
I feel like you're already talking about it, so you might as well just put it out.
You're not forgetting he's two people, right? That they're both him?
The Kashran?
Oh no, I'm far less worried about them. So wait. He could be an issue as well, but we're not seeing him as of late. When was the last time you spotted anything related to him was back in RA4, right?
Is that the last time?
Yeah. Because that was when the Bodolith had appeared there. But since then, there hasn't been you were expecting the whole thing here to be the Kashram and not the Daemon, which are more in line with Stevelore.
Yes, this was more... What I was expecting here... I was expecting Kashran. This is more Steven.
Maybe they joined forces.
Now, why would you say that?
That would
Because I
actually
don't know
be
what's
terrifying.
going on.
Steve,
Yes.
would Gort recognize the word Kashram?
Yes, the Kashram is believed to be
right?
the thing that put the computer into place, and the name of Kashrin is the name of the country that was made by the Kashram.
Okay.
But it would sound very familiar.
Well, I guess you heard that. That's unfortunate.
Well, you're mumbling, and you're not mumbling that softly.
Very good point.
So, I have a suggestion, since, we're about to head to North Point. Since Gort was just at North Point, what if he stayed here and you guys troubleshoot his terminal thing that seems to be infected?
I don't believe Gort will allow that, will you, Gort?
But I don't believe I'm infected. No.
That's the problem with you substantials. Many of you tend to be very strong free thinkers, and it's very hard to talk you into doing the right thing because you always think you're doing the right thing.
I'm only doing the computers well.
Precisely.
Do you even need anything from North Point, Gord?
What is there to need? He pulls out, he draws out his saber and holds it aloft. He goes, I have my weapon back.
So would you mind staying here then and just keeping an eye on things while we're gone?
He kind of raises one eye as he looks around. I suppose.
Excellent. We shouldn't
What
be
weapon
long.
does he pull out?
He pulls out a blade that that has like a bluish hue to it. It has like electricity that crackles where the blade should be.
Oh, we forgot something. I put on a substantial monocle 2 sessions ago. Should that be affecting things?
Oh, you got the old one that was on Professor Phelan.
And I did declare I was putting it in, and I just looked in my inventory and realized.
Yeah, so everybody has like a stronger glow, but this is a first generation substantiality monocle. So it doesn't detect the same way the more advanced ones do.
Okay. I got like the Atari 2600 of monocles.
Exactly. So everybody's just like the party glows a little bit brighter, but not in any particular color. They just have a glow to them, whereas most other people that you encounter don't. Candor right now has a glow to him. Abram does not have a glow to him.
Is that one more obvious than that one? I'm more obvious, but I'd be able to notice it, or
Yeah, so you never attuned for in the first generation. You never attuned for substantial NPCs. You would only attune for a certain level of substantiality, but it didn't apply to like a very specific grouping of NPCs. So like if an NPC had reached like a certain thing, you didn't consider them to be part of the programming. Your monocle looks for like certain elements of substantiality that lead from lower level to higher level. At a certain point, actually, this monocle will actually just not even detect the players as substantial anymore, because they are essentially the equivalent of NPCs. They're so integral to the world's actions that they cease to be. Or you've theorized in some cases that eventually, sometimes they just retire, and that's actually probably why the monocle shuts off. But you don't have like an exact definition. But you know, when at early lower levels, it detects groups of people that have a higher likelihood of becoming substantial.
That's interesting.
Right. Well, then why don't we make our way to
North
North Point and get our shopping done, and hopefully get back soon enough that we don't have any issues with time.
Hopefully we can get an overpriced coat.
Brianna, how much will your things cost?
I was budgeting for about 10,000 gold when I was making my list, so it should be around that number.
I'm just thinking that, I mean, I guess we could bring some extra, but we don't need to bring all of the money from Abram if we're not planning to use all of it.
Well, we're getting that spell storing thing for you, correct?
Yes, which is about 6,000.
Okay, so then I don't need to get that. And then I wanted to buy some Eden scrolls.
Really?
Yeah.
I do need a
'cause I
couple
went
of
through
scrolls
6 of them
myself.
last session. So it's coming in handy.
So can we just make an estimate so we know how much to bring? So 10,000. Brianna, does that include your scrolls?
Yes, they're just low-level scrolls that I'm after. Not to eat, but, you know.
And to be clear, that now has to be differentiated.
How much are your scrolls, your Eden scrolls, gonna cost, sir?
So greatest thing ever now. Okay,
Presumably, I'm assuming you're going to buy scrolls that are useful and then eat the scroll, have them like also be what you eat.
yeah, I was thinking of actually dipping into buying some second level ones, and was gonna buy 10 of them, but I hadn't decided on which particular spells. I figured I figured we'd know when we got there.
Can you get those spells printed on a tortilla? Might make them a little more palatable.
I believe the magic is best when consumed on the scroll. You know what I mean? You can't put any peanut butter or anything on it because you're just kind of...
Anyways.
Scribe or scroll on a tortilla. I like it.
Yeah, so I'll have to talk to Hadhub about that.
I think I could do it.
I believe in you.
I 100% believe in him.
What does Abrams think of this line of conversation?
I mean, he's seen parties talk about more perplexing things, so this is all just part of what happens around substantials.
So yeah, I'm trying to find I'm looking at the spell list right now. I hate the way it's laid out in this book. I'm gonna have to go to a different website. This is sucky.
Constag, do you know how much you're planning to spend?
I know I had one object that was around 900. I don't know how much the suggested wraps will cost. And I don't know if it'll be a cost to refit the barding.
That'll probably be very cheap.
I just put in chat like what I just went and added everything that I'm wanting together. So.
Yeah, it's flat. You get a 10% discount. So just multiply that by 0.9, and you'll get the total.
I was not sure if diplomacy would affect any of that.
Yeah. We can do that ahead of time. Why don't you give me a diplomacy roll?
Okay.
For every 10 you beat 20, you get an additional 5%. So yeah, you can get a 5% discount on top of that. So multiply that total by 0.85.
Okay, where do you want me to put because I got 5 scrolls I want to get. So 2 arcane descriptions, 2 bestow insights, because I think we can buff up our skill checks when we fail. And then I just accidentally switched the screen and lost where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
2 acid arrow, 2 anti-summon shield, and endure elements communal. So that's a 5 scrolls, and I'm gonna buy 2 scrolls of each. And if it turns out we need them, we need them. If not, they'll use me up. And that's going to be.
Like it would go down very well.
And that would be at 150 each. That'd be 1,500. 150 each. So hopefully these are useful.
Get a big old bottle of like ranch or something to put on there just to.
Oh, ranch, so gross. Ugh.
I'm assuming the acid arrow ones are going to be spicy.
Oh, I
Most
think
acid
so.
reflux.
I hate that acid. Oh God, it's such bad indigestion. That acid arrow.
Acid arrow. Just put some buffalo sauce on there.
I'm pretty sure anything with like an egg or vinegar base is going to dramatically change the effect though.
Let me outlaw that.
Oh, I got it. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the scroll go down.
Nice. Well done.
Yes, that dry sugar helps that dry scroll go down.
Oh, another object you could give to your cohort is a Dusty Rose Prism, which gives you an insight bonus to AC. For an Iron Stone. I'll send you the link, Michelle.
Oh, okay. Cohort is an animal.
I'm sorry,
companion.
Animal Companion, yeah. This. And then I'm surprised that Erasmus doesn't want some things to get extra spells.
I have a Pearl of Power level 1.
Oh, okay. I forgot you had one.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So I spent a lot of money on that. So I'm saving up for number 2. Plus, I really want to see if this Arcane Disruption spell is any good.
Would the like wraps that work like a ring be the same cost as the ring?
So the ring is different. So the ring doesn't give you the wraps will wrap around here, but they occupy basically the oh wait, actually the wraps count as, hang on. I think I'm remembering this wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, the wraps don't take a ring slot. They take up the foot slot, the basically the paw slot.
Oh.
So you can get like things that go around that go like a cuff around there that will act as a ring for the animal.
Oh, okay. And are those the same?
Anything that's on the
prices?
ring list, yeah, you can get.
While we are going through and deciding what we're taking with us, Brianna will come across some gear that she doesn't quite remember how she got it. Basically, it's Phelan's headband, chain shirt, amulet, ring, formula.
Oh man.
First book.
Yeah. So those can all be identified presumably by both Abram and Kandor. What do you think, Kandor?
How did you?
I don't remember how I got these. I'm assuming it's related to the mission that we had to trade.
Yeah, you immediately realize what those are, Kandor. That's Phelan's gear.
That explains the monocle then, I suppose. Well, Erasmus's monocle.
Yeah, so Phelan had +2 chain shirt, an amulet of natural armor 2, a ring of protection 2, and a headband of intellect +4, which imparts knowledge of sleight of hand and the planes. So I don't know if anybody is lacking a headband or has a weaker headband, but this is intellect +4.
Ooh. I'll tell you in a second.
I just have the headband from Kandor.
Yeah, that one you can't take off where your charisma goes to Helena Handband. Or your, because yours is...
It is a headband of vast intellect of what level?
It is a second level one, so +4, and it gives you knowledge ranks in sleight of hands and the planes.
I only have a +2. I will take that.
I will give it to
Okay. Increase your max ranks then in sleight of hand and the planes to, or increase sleight of hand and the planes to max ranks.
All right. Which I think one of those is that. But sleight of hand.
So, and that's a mithril chain shirt
That is
+2?
No, it is a regular +2 chain shirt.
Okay, +2 chain shirt.
Yep. Phelan did not need mithril. He did not have the dex for it.
And then you said sleight of hand, huh?
Sleight of hand. That is part of how he was making it look like he cast spells.
Huh.
And then the formula book and the cursed book, I'll just give those to Candor.
Yeah, you know what the cursed book is. When you see it, but you do not know what the formula book is. An alchemist's formula book.
Wow, I'm walking around with a 23 intelligence now.
Still not as smart as Phelan was.
No.
Though he had a lot of levels on you guys, so.
And he was a bastard.
Alright, so, does anyone want the chain shirt, amulet, or ring?
I'm good with what I got. What's the ring?
It's a ring of protection +2.
I'm thinking everybody should have a similar item.
I already have a ring of protection
Yeah.
too.
I do as well.
Would we be able to get anything for these if we tried to sell them in North Point?
Yeah, you can sell them off for 50% of their value.
Okay.
Nobody can use the chain shirt, huh? Is it regular or?
It's just a regular chain shirt +2.
+2, but it's made of mithril?
Nope, it is
No,
a regular
it's not.
chain shirt +2.
Hence the phrase regular,
Yep.
correct? Not the term mithril. I don't know where I got mithril out of that.
Well, I mean, because mithril got said like 3 times.
Yeah, I am used to it because I have one that I automatically think that's what it is.
I hope this reloading arrow spell turns out to be useful. I'm kind of intrigued with that one. Where like you cast it on an weapon and for the number of rounds it just automatically reloads. I don't know if that'll work for us or not. But yeah, I picked Arcane Disruption, Bestow Insight, Endure Elements Communal, Acid Arrow, and Reloading Hands, and I think those might be good ones that might help the party out. If not, they'll taste good. Maybe.
This was the spell I was looking for. Because there was an item that Tom was asking about, and I couldn't remember what the name of the thing was to make this quiver.
Everfull Quiver?
No, this is similar, but because it has the ability to overcome DR and it basically counts as magic. That was the thing that was missing.
Oh, number 2 is. I thought number 2 was 9,000. Number 2 is 4,000.
Number 2 for armor, you mean?
No, for the Pearl of Power.
Yeah, it's 149. 9,000 is third level.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Then I'll pick up the level 2 one.
Okay.
Does the belt of incredible dexterity fit the wolf, or do I?
You could have one made that would fit the wolf.
Can I get the one that I have refitted?
No.
Okay, so I'd have to sell that and then get a new one.
Yeah, which would mean you take a loss on that.
Okay. So there's not really a point.
No.
Okay.
So out of my share of the sapphires, I have 4,000 left. Is that right? Yeah.
Okay. Everybody gets an additional 1,610 in addition.
Sorry, 1,610 gold.
Yeah, 1,610 gold.
Oh, there's another thing.
Yeah.
Does the wolf have any other attacks, or is the other wrap basically?
Well, remember the one was the hooves thing, so it's just the wrap, and so it just affects the bite basically.
Well, I had 2. I had one for the antlers and one for the hooves.
Yeah, so that's dead because it only has the one attack.
Okay. So can I sell the other one though?
Yes, for 50% of its value.
What is its value?
It's what's on it? Just +1.
Yeah.
So I believe that's gonna sell for 1,000 GP.
Okay.
Is there anybody that feels they would benefit from my old headband of intellect? I don't mind selling it, but I feel like having a enhancement bonus, and it could be useful to somebody, might be.
I mean, my head's big enough. I can wear a second headband, right?
No.
No.
I think everybody
have
has
one.
a headband.
I don't.
You have a wisdom one, I thought, don't you?
I don't see one on here.
Oh, because that could get you bonus spells.
Yeah, you would need
Okay,
one of
then.
those.
So a headband of wisdom would be useful for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's also put that on.
My intellect one will be
In fact,
really good.
actually, why do you have a dex belt?
It was for the stag.
Oh, if it was for the stag, then yes, it can be resized for your wolf. I'm sorry.
Okay. So then I can
But-
not have to sell that. I can...
Should we hold on to this? Should we hold on to this intellect,
Inspired wisdom?
or hold
Yes,
on,
inspired
or sell
wisdom.
it?
Okay.
I'd say sell it. We all have headbands. We're not gonna get rid of them.
Get back that 2,000 GP.
Hopefully it doesn't hurt.
Would I also be able to condense money into like higher denominations
Yeah.
and stuff?
You can turn it into whatever you want it to be. It's a big enough city.
If I'm selling that back, do I get the 2,000, or does the 2,000 go to the party treasure?
You get the 2,000 because it was your object.
I'm on my way to that level 3 now. Only about 5,000 more. Anybody else? Can they think of anything else that would help them out?
I think those were the main things for me. I think we had a session like a couple weeks ago or something where we were discussing what we wanted to get, so I had pretty much in mind what
I had figured out all the things for that session, so I do. But I should have enough to cover. So. If I did the math right, that should be my total.
Okay, and then multiply it times 0.9 because you get a 10%
Okay.
discount.
In terms of the +1 melee weapon special abilities, I have to choose either or, right? Either spellstoring or cruel.
Yes, because so the total cost, here's the way this works. So right now your weapon is equal to a weapon that costs 2,000 GP. Or 4,000 GP, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. So if you look at the, I'm gonna send you a link to something that'll help a little with trying to understand this. So on Discord, Whitney, I just sent you a link to something. If you scroll down to, there's a table that says weapon pricing by bonus. So whatever your total bonus comes out to be is what the cost would be, and then you subtract what your weapon is currently. So it would be 16,000 if you wanted to put both those things on. Otherwise, it's 6,000 to put one of those things on, because it's the difference between whatever it currently is and whatever you're trying to turn it into after doing the totaling. So if people are willing to pitch in, you might be able to get both of them.
I was more just wondering in terms of like functionality. It's possible to have.
Yep, it is possible to have multiple things on it.
I am willing to pitch in to make you more deadly. It's to our benefit that everybody be armed as best as possible.
But yeah, I forgot how good cruel can be for your build. I think we did
How
talk
much
about
do you
that.
need for the two effects, Nikolai?
So it would be a total of 16,000 for the two of them, and I currently have, 7,000 gold. That's not counting what we're getting from Abram.
Yeah, you should
Okay,
have like
well-
1,700 gold. So you should have, or 17,000 gold. So you should have enough.
Yeah.
Oh, did we just split up the gold?
Yeah,
Yes.
How much were we supposed to take from
10.
Abram?
10,000.
Plus, you gave us some other amount, right? I added.
That was the 1610. Yeah, that was from Phelan's gear.
I'm
Okay,
assuming I got none, right?
No, they would have given you the money. They said they were giving you the money.
Yeah, we declared we were giving you money.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Must have missed that.
Okay, yeah, so then I do have enough to buy both of them.
You do have enough?
Yep.
What objects can I have light?
With
I
what?
just have light object written down. I needed an object that could give me a bonus to flight. And it was
Oh
apparently-
yeah, so you can take that in like any slotted item that you want. So like one of your body slots, if you want it in a non-slotted place, you need to have, you'll pay double for it. So like, you know how there's rings, hands, whatever. So one of the slots that you're not currently using.
You know what amazes me about that whole thing, Steve? We couldn't do that in earlier editions of D&D, and there was no practical reason that you couldn't add enchantments onto things.
Yeah.
Other than it just wasn't allowed.
I don't know what all the slots are though.
If you go to the Wondrous Item section on the SRD, there is literally a picture of a dude that has all of the gear slots. They designed like the most androgynous shape they could to identify all the body slots. It is like, it's actually really well done.
Cloak is shoulders, right?
Cloak is shoulders. Yep.
So it is like cloak, mantlet. Those kind of things.
Head, headband, eyes, shoulders, neck, chest, body, armor, belt, wrists, hands, ring, feet, pants.
No anklet? Rude.
No anklet.
No codpiece.
That's a
Codpiece of
bard-only
protection.
item.
Yeah,
That's why there's a pants slot.
it is true.
When are you guys gonna get that merform belt, huh? Once per day, you can become a merfolk.
I'm gonna get of the deep put on all my stuff so that
There you go.
I can breathe water and.
You know me and the
operate.
amount of times I subject players to water.
I know.
Been a long time though since I got a party on a boat.
Well, that's why I was creating dolphins out of thin air.
I was gonna say, you got the clinical clergy team on the boat.
That was not the right kind of boat that I was looking for. I wanted to put people into the ocean. That's one of my favorite tropes. Let's all get on this boat that's obviously going to crash.
So I could like put it on a belt.
Yeah, you could put it on a belt if you're not using a belt.
Okay.
Are we gonna need to secure transportation? Because I believe we've sacrificed our wagon, correct?
Yes, you do not have your wagon. But you are going to have a transport. You are going from Fort Jericho to Halron with their envoy. They're going to try to. They're basically going to create a distraction. You guys are going to go to a certain point, and there are supposed to be people that have been, according to what was told from Kandor. There's supposed to be a team that's going to be there to greet you and kind of get you inside.
Okay.
Unless everything has failed.
Is there anything else anybody thinks they were needing? I mean, nothing is too frivolous if you think it's going to save our lives.
I don't have anything else in mind at the time.
Broom of sweeping.
What about the
Tome of
headband of
Insults.
havoc?
Yes. Staff of striking local 149. That's an actual item from a Dragon magazine. If the players use it, it causes all their magic items to not work anymore. Or all the magic items in the area not to work anymore. And I don't think they realize that. Because the magic items were on strike and it was a joke.
All right, well, if you guys think of other stuff, we can handle that later. But I think this is where we're going to wrap up for this evening. So thank you all very much. Take care. Good night.
So can we just put stuff on our character sheet?